There is so much injustice in the world. And I'm talking in America, and I have the sense that Americans as a whole don't think of justice in the same terms that I do. I don't mean they've no sense of justice. I'm sure they have. But they mean something else by justice than I do. Why do you have so many lawyers in this country? Do you need all of those lawyers to have justice? You think you do. Everybody has a dozen lawyers, if not now at this moment. If you had to have them, you would have them. They're there. There are millions of lawyers in this country. It's very rich pickings, so that's one of the main reasons, because men can do other things. But it's to do with your sense of justice. Now, your sense of justice, it seems to me, is not the same as mine. Mine is a sense of social justice, and yours is a sense of legal justice. Somebody drops a brick on your foot, by mistake, of course. He didn't just mean to do it, but you were walking along the pavement one day. Pavement? You call it a pavement? You were walking along the pavement, and there was a man on a stepladder up high who was taking out bricks and putting up bricks. And as you passed, while he was up looking up there, one of his bricks dropped on your foot. And immediately you call on your lawyers. You have at least half a dozen lawyers you know about. Many more you don't need to know about. You can look them up in yellow pages. And you sue that man for dropping a brick on your foot. It was painful. Look at the bruise it caused. And for 2 or 3 days, you could hardly move your foot. It was so painful. So you sue that man, and you get justice. That's justice. In the American mind, it seems to me that is what justice is. But America and Russia and China and the states of Europe can be as greedy and selfish and rich and powerful as they are, all of them. And there could be millions of people starving to death, as there are in the world, and you can still call it justice. It's a different kind of justice. Well, to me, there is only one kind of justice, and that's social justice. It's what happens between peoples, between nations of peoples. And we have millions of people living in unjust conditions in the world. There are millions of people starving to death in a world of plenty. It's not as if there was a shortage of food. There's a huge surplus of food per capita in the world, if it were more equitably shared, distributed. Sharing is just distributing it more sanely, more humanly. But nations like your own, like China, and Russia, and Europe, Japan, have fantastic, relatively speaking, ways of qualities of life, but don't seem to think that other people have the same rights to that quality of life. Why not? Because they are members of small countries who are not rich. But the world is rich. There is a huge quality of abundance in the world. Tremendous quality if the food were distributed. Nobody, not one child in the world would need to suffer starvation. Not one. People die in their millions for want of the food which is rotting away in the storehouses of the developed world. That's the reality. It's insane, but it's true. There are millions of people more who are condemned to positions of relative inferiority. Muslims, for instance, are not liked by Christians. Christians are not liked by Muslims. Jews are not liked by either. And Hindus, they might be liked for their food or their music. It's entertaining, but they're not to be taken seriously. And likewise, the world is divided up by those who think they have a right to everything and those who have no rights to anything. So how can you have a world at peace if you have that injustice? There will never, ever be peace if there is injustice in the world. And if there never is peace, there will be war. And if there is war, even a small war can become a big war. And a big war would be a nuclear war. And a nuclear war would destroy all life on planet Earth. That's the reality.